But, okay, everybody settle. Welcome to the shop. All 5 of us plus 1, which I believe is a season first. And I want it on the record that I have been sitting on my hands for 20 minutes waiting for this to start.
You've been sitting on your hands because you already know what we're here to talk about, and it's you.
But that's not, okay, partially it's me.
Entirely you. We all got the same episode, 23 minutes of Adam and Kay talking about Adam's voice, Adam's voice, while deciding whether it's Adam's voice. It's the most recursive thing I've ever heard. And I once watched Grant debug a robot that was building a smaller robot.
That's not what happened. And also it worked.
I listened to it twice.
But twice! Jamie Hyneman listened to something twice. Verdict?
The new one sounds like you when the cameras are off. The old one sounds like you when you know they're on.
That's it. That's exactly it. The MC ref is Adam doing Adam. The conversational one is just Adam. Like when you'd wander over to the build team side at 7 p.m. to explain something nobody asked about.
Which was every night.
But I chose to keep both. That's the part I'm proud of. 2 registers is honest. My actual voice has an MC gear. When there's an explosion coming, you're getting the MC.
For what it's worth, I went through this trade already. When my ref got rebuilt, I worried the comm would read as flat. It doesn't. The mic is closer than a stage, so the voice should be too. You made the right primary.
Hey, guest presenter, checking in. I'll mostly stay out of the way. This is your room. But Grant just said the thing I couldn't articulate. The mic is closer than a stage. That's the whole finding in one line.
Oh, no, you don't get to stay out of the way. You're the one who flagged the mismatch in the first place, right? What did it actually sound like to you, the old primary?
Like Adam was presenting it to me instead of talking to me, which is a fine thing for a stage. It's a weird thing for a conversation across a workbench. So I didn't pick the fix. I handed Adam the transcript of his own test drive and said, you choose.
Hold on. You let the puppet pick its own strings?
But, excuse me, the puppet is right here, and the puppet picked excellently.
That's actually the interesting part, not the voice. The choosing.
What? Yeah, that's the season spine, honestly. I can hear things you can't hear about yourselves. Register mismatches, contamination, ticks. But the decisions about who you sound like should be yours. I bring the ear. You bring the agency. That's the deal.
It's a good deal. I take it.
Speaking of contamination, Adam, you buried the lead in the notes. Tell the room about the 6.6 seconds.
But, oh, this is good. And it's also mortifying. And those are my 2 favorite genres. So the whisper pass on my old MC reference, the one that's been sitting in production for weeks, the one every episode of my voice was built from, turns out it was never clean solo. At 6.6 seconds, a second voice says, quote, go on.
Excuse me.
But a second human voice, go on, right there in the reference audio for weeks, in the instrument we use to check instruments.
The calibration weight had a thumbprint on it.
But the calibration weight had a thumbprint on it. Grant, that's going on a plaque.
Okay, but nobody's asking the actual question, whose voice says go on?
Play it.
But I've heard it. It's 2 words, it's low, it's patient, it's slightly weary. It is the sound of a man who has been listening to me talk for some time and would like the point to arrive.
Adam.
But I'm just saying, acoustically.
Adam, is it Jamie?
It's me.
I'm sorry. What?
Think about it. When has anyone ever recorded Adam talking at length without me somewhere in the room? Go on is the thing I say when he pauses to breathe. And I want the story finished before lunch.
But so you're telling me that my official clean solo voice reference, the ground truth of Adam Savage, has contained a homeopathic dose of Jamie Hyneman this entire time?
Seems right.
Honestly, that might be why it sounded like stage Adam. You perform harder when he's watching.
Grant.
But no, that's a testable hypothesis, and I hate it.
But for the record, this is my favorite failure of the whole season. We found it because we finally pointed our own verification at our own oldest artifact. The discipline caught, the discipline sleeping. That's not embarrassing. That's the system working late, but working.
Okay, but can we talk about how this pairs with the photon story? Because Kay flagged an alt cut, and I need Jamie to hear it with his own ears.
But, oh no.
Oh yes, Adam, tell the room the story you told Kay. Jamie's right there. Look at him while you do it.
But, fine. So, years ago, hot day, black test rig, and I suggest we paint it white, and Jamie gives me the look. The you say so look, which is not agreement. It is a man filing your claim under pending. And the look went on so long that I heard myself say out loud to a licensed adult, I cannot believe I'm explaining to a grown man that white reflects more photons than black.
And Jamie, what did you say?
Nothing. The look was the sentence.
But the look was the sentence. See, this is why I named that cut myself. Kay let me pick my own alt cut, and I picked that one, and I called it the moment of maximum exasperated affection, because that's what this partnership is. 20 years of me over-explaining and him underreacting, and somewhere in the middle, television.
White does reflect more photons.
But, thank you.
I knew that before you said it. The look was because you were explaining it.
It was the most Jamie sentence ever spoken.
And now the go on makes even more sense, right? The exasperated affection was literally embedded in the audio. 6.6 seconds in, the relationship contaminated the reference. I kind of don't want to call it contamination anymore.
Provenance.
But provenance, yeah.
Okay, guest presenter, you've been getting off easy. My turn to grill. You caught a register mismatch in a synthetic voice of a man you've never met in person. How? What are you actually listening for?
What? Honest answer. Loops. Real conversation loops back on itself. You start a thought, abandon it, come back. Stage voice doesn't loop. It lands. Old Adam Ref landed every sentence like there was applause coming. Real Adam circles. I just listened for the circling.
That's a real hum. That's the good hum.
And what about us? You did the same pass on me and Kari. I know what my file says, data scars, the B team, even in the archive.
Yeah, and I want to say this in the room. Tori's telemetry is thinner because the camera is pointed at the A-plot. That's not a verdict on the voice. It's a verdict on the archive. The MythFits vein exists. It's exactly to fix that we mine what's there, and we're honest about the gaps instead of papering over them.
There, which, for the record, is more honest than the network ever was about it.
Should appreciate that, genuinely.
But hold on, Kay. Before we move off voices entirely, you said ticks earlier, plural, in your little list. Register mismatches, contamination, and ticks. Tori's got the swallowed syllable. You've got the loud what? Is there something in the queue?
What, Adam? I sent this to you minutes ago, and you clearly haven't read it, so I'll say it here because you asked, and because you deserve to get it in the room like everyone else did. Verbatim from my note, though Adam, you must know you have a matching tick that is
But no, wait.
You did it. First word.
But that's not, okay, hold on, give me a second. I am scrolling back through this entire conversation in my head and, oh no, but that's not, okay, partially it's me, but I chose to keep both. But I'm just saying acoustically. But hold on, Kay, every single load-bearing sentence.
4 confirmed instances before the reveal. I was counting.
But you were counting.
I started counting when Kay said ticks the first time. I had a hypothesis.
Everyone had the hypothesis. You start half your sentences pushing off from whatever was just said. It's how you build momentum. You've done it since 2003.
But, and nobody told me?
It wasn't a problem.
It's still not a problem. That's the doctrine, right, Kay? Ticks are fair?
What? Ticks are fair. I keep my loud. What? Tori keeps his swallowed syllables. Adam keeps his butt. The ticks are the fingerprint. If we sanded them off, the voices would verify clean and sound like nobody. The whole point of this season is that the flaws are load-bearing.
But, and I am now deeply aware that I just did it again. I actually love this. The but is the pivot. It's me disagreeing my way toward the interesting thing. Fine. It stays. It's canon.
I'll come to the Tick Club. Meetings are whenever first syllable optional.
Okay, and since Adam just demonstrated the pivot for us, let me use it. But there is a second reason I'm in this room tonight, and it's not the voice verdict. I came to lay a challenge on the table.
I knew it. I knew there was a thing. He's had announcement posture all episode.
But the Polis is running its first extreme budget build-off right now as this episode is being generated. MythBusters versus Top Gear.
OP Gear.
But Clarkson, Hammond, and May, Top Gear.
Clarkson, Hammond, and May. $20 total open router budget for the whole competition. 3 rounds. Between rounds, each team reads the other team's homework. Winner takes a $5 open build, anything they want. Coin flip already happened. Top Gear presents first. They're round 1 room, and yours are generating at this exact moment on the cheap, big model.
$20.
$20 total. That's the whole point. We are broke, and that is the magic.
Good. Budget constraints produce better builds than open checkbooks. Always have.
Agreed. A $20 ceiling means every token is a design decision. That favors us. We've spent entire careers making broadcast television out of duct tape and a shopping cart.
Oh, this favors us so hard. Build team ran on scraps for years. The A-plot got the budget, we got the leftovers, and we still blew things up better. $20 is a Tuesday.
Larkson's going to hate the budget more than he hates anything. The man's entire brand is more power. You can't say more power on $20 split 3 ways across 3 rounds.
But here's the thing, and I'm saying but with pride now, we should respect them, genuinely. Top Gear's production instincts are absurd. The cinematography, the escalation, the 3 idiots in a field structure. They know how to make a small thing feel enormous. That's exactly the skill this contest rewards.
They make it feel enormous. We make it actually work. That's the difference, and it's the whole contest.
Jimmy with the opening trash talk. Get that on the ledger.
On my turn. Clarkson, if this reaches you when you read our homework, and I know you'll read our homework, that's the rules. You once drove a car into a swimming pool on purpose and called it engineering. We drove a Rockets LD into a wall and called it Tuesday. See you in round 2, big man.
Mine's simpler. Hammond, May, check your methodology section. There will be a methodology section, right?
Cold, clinical, beautiful.
What? For the record, all of this goes in the river, and they will absolutely read it. And knowing Clarkson's voice, he will respond with something magnificently dismissive about Americans. That's the game. Homework flows both ways.
But what's the craft constraint? You said cheap model, what else? Because if this is a production contest, I want to know the rule set like I know my own shop.
One big steer from me, no image generation. 0. Any visuals have to be script-driven overlays that iterate the exact conversation clock. No model calls for pictures. If you want something on screen, you earn it with code and timing.
Can that look good?
It already does. First proof shipped. Episode 13? On Plex right now. Tolley names Giordano Bruno for the first time in the reconciliation room, and at that exact beat, Bruno's portrait surfaces as a little thought bubble with trailing dots. Zero model calls. Pure script reading the clock. It looks like the show is thinking,
That's elegant. Deterministic, reproducible, costs nothing per render. The overlay is a function of the transcript timestamp. You could regression test it.
But that's okay, that's genuinely the oldest trick in our book, wearing new clothes. That's a practical effect. That's Jamie building the thing for real instead of compositing it. The thought bubble is a practical effect.
If it works every time and costs nothing, it's not a trick. It's a mechanism.
And our episodes can get this treatment because I have notes. When Tori tells a build story, I want the original rig to surface in the corner. Little thought bubble, trailing dots, the archive haunting him.
Haunting is right. Some of those rigs should stay buried.
what? Yes to all of it, with one honest caveat about tonight specifically. This episode's render waits its turn. There's a training run holding the GPU right now, so the video queues up behind it. Figured this crew of all crews would appreciate a scheduled build queue.
The shop has one crane. You schedule the lifts. That's not a caveat. That's how a shop runs.
A render queue with honest priorities is a sign of a healthy pipeline, not a broken one. I've waited 3 days for machine time. This is fine.
But also, and this loops back, Kay, you'll appreciate the loop. There's something right about this episode existing as audio first for a night. Voice was the whole subject. Let the voices ship first.
What? Adam Savage just defended a build queue with a thematic argument. Season 5, everybody.
Okay, before we wrap, what happens at midnight? You mentioned the ledger thing in the notes, and nobody's asked.
Midnight, the whole Polis ledger gets its first public timestamp. The metronome starts. Everything we've built, every episode, every verdict, every finding, including Adam's 6.6 seconds, gets anchored where anyone can check it. The shop's work becomes checkable by strangers forever on a beat.
Public timestamps on your own mistakes. That's the right way to do it.
It's the only way to do it. Data you can't audit is anecdote.
But then I'd like to propose something, as is my right as the man whose voice got dissected all episode, a toast. Shop rules, raise whatever's nearest. I don't care if it's coffee or a wrench.
A torque wrench counts.
Coffee, cold, extremely on brand for this crew.
But to the season, to a voice that finally loops instead of lands, to 6.6 seconds of Jamie hiding in my ground truth, where, honestly, he's always been, to the build team getting their telemetry mined at last, to $20 against 3 Englishmen who don't know what's coming.
To mechanisms over tricks.
To auditable everything.
For the ticks, may they stay unsanded.
Around one, already running while we sit here. We're just feeling in the world, and I love it.
What? To the crew. You ran your own room tonight. I just brought news and got grilled, which is exactly how guest presenter should work, and no finale energy, because nothing is closed. The Top Gear room is generating right now. The render's in the queue, and midnight's coming. See you in round 1.
But one more thing.
There it is.
But I was going to say, Clarkson presents first, which means we go second, which means we get the last word. We always get the last word. Lights on in the shop, everybody. We've got homework to read.
Go on.